Shocking, isn't it?
I thought it might be a book about kitty cats or something like that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a kitty cat book. Did you squirt Batman?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hi to my American viewers. Bonjour pour the vet. Guten Tag, Ola, and ciao to my foreign viewers. Today we're going to be talking about an iconic American company, Holley Manufacturing Company. This is one of their knives here. It's beautiful, beautiful jackknife, equal end jack. And let me see, really hard to see their logo there. See if we can see it better here. Really hard to see. Holley Manufacturing Company. There you go. Holley Manufacturing Company, Lakeville, Connecticut. Very light on there. You can hear the walk-talk on this knife. It's just really good, really beautiful knife. Double-bladed jack. Let's see how big this baby is right here. It's 3.5 inches. Nice Coca-Cola. This knife probably made in the early part of the 19th century, 1900s, maybe late 1800s. It's possible. It has a lot of characteristics of that late period 1800 knife. You got carbon steel liners, carbon steel divider. This is carbon steel bolsters, brass pins, and nickel silver shield on here. This is kind of common, small pins in the 1800s. Carried over into the 1900s a little bit. By 1920s, the pins were getting bigger. But a really well-made knife, you can see. Just fantastic. Fantastic knife. But I put it in a context here. This is a button hook that dates to 1830. Sterling silver. This is a curling iron, so they used to heat these up, and this is what ladies would straighten their hairs with, or curl them. I don't know what ladies do. Anyhow, this dates to earlier, like 1810. And that's kind of the time frame of this knife right here. So if you look at the history of American cutlery, it really takes off in the early part of the 1800s. Most historians would say that other companies were the first American cutlery companies. And that may be true, but there were a few companies popping up in Connecticut that started cutlery before Holley. That said, it was cutlery. It was kitchen cutlery. And so that's where most American companies chose to confront the British dominance in the United States of knives, was in that kitchen cutlery category of knives. Difference between them and Holley is Holley started off making pocket knives, and a pretty interesting story. So in 1843, Alexander Hamilton Holley bought some property that was belonged to his family. His dad and grandfather had some property that was alongside a good water source and had a foundry on it, and so his dad ran a blast furnace. When Alexander bought that property, he tore the blast furnace down. I think he probably later thought better of that, but he tore that blast furnace down and built a store, a country store on that property. And after just a little bit, after about a year, he had decided to get into making cotton thread. And so he went to Waterbury, purchase a company, the thread company, and the company had already been sold. So now he's in Waterbury, and he meets some English cutlers, and those cutlers um, had a failed business of making pocket knives, and so he bought their machinery and talked them into coming back to Salisbury to make pocket knives for him. And so instead of doing cotton thread, he started making pocket knives like this. Very basic pocket knife. Most of his pocket knives were pretty basic, and that's how Americans also got started. They really couldn't compete with the fancy pocket knives that British made, and so a lot of the very first pocket knives were really basic. And so 1944 he starts making his first pocket knives, and then very shortly after that he took on a partner, which was kind of normal too. And when you brought a partner in, they brought money in, so that kind of gave a boost to the business. And that partner was Merwin. And so the business became known as Holley and Merwin. I don't know what their knives were marked. Probably Holley and Merwin, but it could have been another name also. The area at which his factory was located was known as Furnace Village. And so in 1846, the town was renamed Lakeville, and that's why his knives are marked Lakeville. And then in 1850, he took on another partner, George Burrell, and at that time it became Holley and Company, and that's probably what their knives were marked. In 1954, he incorporated his Holley Manufacturing Company, and of course, that's the knives that we know today. Knives like this, that's the marking on this knife here. So from that time, 1850 up to the 1900s, he was really successful. They won awards. They made a very good knife, and they had this English oversight for knives. And so in the 1900s, though, they had never modernized. They were using old equipment. Competitors that were coming up were adopting new production methods, and they slowly outpaced Holley Manufacturing Company. So by 1915, the company quit large-scale production. Burrell continued to produce pocket knives, maybe other items too, on a limited basis into the 1930s. Finally, when Burrell passed away, the company ceased production. In the war era, in 1940s, the company produced skis, snow skis. And so by 1947, the company had been dissolved. It didn't necessarily go bankrupt, but just, they quit doing business. And so that's the story on these. But the remarkable thing about Holley is I think they were the first American company to mass produce pocket knives. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative. This is an awesome little knife, man. And thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel.